Good morning from Hawaii. My name is Jürgen Steinmetz, and I'm going to be your host, and also I'm involved in the African Tourism Board, and I will explain it. We're expecting a record audience today because we're also testing a new system. This is the first time we do this. We had a total of 504 people registered for the event on Zoom. I know not everyone will also be us, but we're offering options we never had before. You actually see this event now on live stream on every single Facebook page we have, including the African Tourism Board Facebook. You also see it on the African Tourism Board website, and you see it throughout on every single page on eTurbo News right now on top of every article. So we do expect a lot of people joining in. We are live on YouTube as well, and we're live on LinkedIn. And it's a new test. So the system is brand new, and if something happens, please take my word, we tried our best. We worked very hard on it. I wanted to first, before we start, in the background, thank my colleague Oleg. He's here in Honolulu, and he's helping us to admit people to this forum. Before we start, I wanted to recognize actually almost so many of you, so maybe I shouldn't recognize anyone and just start, otherwise we're going to have 10 minutes of recognition, but I see Alain, I see Taleb, I see Walter Menzebi, of course, my co-host Peter Charlo, and everyone is here. So without further ado, let's start. The event will also be recorded. So later on, we're going to put it on all our channels, on livestream.travel and so forth. And so you can actually listen to it anytime you want. This is the African Tourism today. African Tourism Board today is celebrating its second birthday, and this should be a very easy announcement, but it's really not that easy. Here, it's why. The African Tourism Board actually may have 4, and maybe today is even the 5th first birthday of the organization, because we are growing, and I want to explain this a little bit. Earlier in 2018, my company, eTurbo News, most of you probably know. May I just ask anyone who's not mute yourself so we don't get the background noise. I try to do this, but it's hard to do it manually because we do have a lot of background noise. Now, I'm going to mute everyone again so we can start from scratch. In the beginning, like mid and marketing project we had planned, and one of these websites was africantourismboard.com. There was no intention at the time to really start an African Tourism Board. It was a marketing exercise, and when people saw this, I guess it caught some attention. Let me try to. Joyce, if you can please unmute yourself, because that's where the background noise starts. Thank you very much. And so when we had this website, I got some important phone calls. One was from Carol Weaving. She is the managing director for READ, and she may actually be on this call. And READ is the organizer for the World Travel Market in Cape Town and in London. And she thought this was a wonderful idea. This was endorsed by our friend, Dr. Taleb Rifai, who is with us now. He was the former Secretary General for the UNWTO for many years. And so out of the idea, and I think these are really the initial people who brought us forward. We had an event during the World Travel Market in London. And before we went to this event on November 5, and this is really the second birthday we're celebrating here, it was the first time a group of people came together and discussed how can we really have an African Tourism Board. And among these people, you have Alain St. Ange, who is going to be speaking in a few minutes. We had Taleb Rifai, and founder of World Travel Awards. And we had a first sponsor. And this is, I have to say, a very special thank you because he's still one of our good friends and sponsor, very active, Tony Smith from the iFree Group in Hong Kong. So we all came together. And besides the initial group, we had ministers of tourism and heads of tourism boards. Now, remember, we had the minister from Mauritius, from Sierra Leone, Seychelles, Cape Verde, Uganda, attending the event and actually made some remarks. So this was very exciting for us because now from just an idea, the African Tourism Board converted into something really potential. And there was a lot of thinking at the time, a lot of phone calls back and forth. So we decided and made an announcement at the World Travel Market in London that we will have our official launch at the then upcoming travel market in Cape Town, what happened in April of 2019. In order to do this, calling us an African Tourism Board, we needed people on the ground. So I used the eTurbo News database to find people, and people responded in huge numbers and with great interest. So it was very encouraging. We had, I think, initially members in almost 20 African countries that wanted to join. When we put a call out for board members, we had people like Arvind, who's joining us from Zimbabwe, and we had people from all over Africa saying we want to do something. And in order to get ready in April, of course, we needed a true leadership, and so we put out a call for a CEO. We put out a call for a chairman of the organization, but we didn't really have any money. The initial thought for this organization was to have a for-profit company that is doing marketing for Africa. And as more we got into this, really, and especially after we had a very successful first launch in Cape Town, it was decided to look at a different approach and really start an organization. In Cape Town, Alain and myself, I think, and Peter were in Cape Town, and we talked to Doris Werfel and asked Doris Werfel to take over the function of a CEO. We met the first time Cuthbert, who was one of the most dedicated persons I've ever met, and he's on this call and is the chairman of the organization. And so it became, over the next few months, quite an active organization. We formed many committees. We tested a lot of things. Some approaches worked, other approaches didn't work. But most important, the organization was converted from an idea of a for-profit marketing company into a non-profit NGO. It was registered in South Africa. And finally, and now we're getting to the first birthday, in November of 2019, or December better, after the World Travel Market in London, the second one, the African Tourism Board was approved as an NGO, what of course changed everything. So we were able to officially move from Honolulu, Hawaii, and became truly African. And the organization formed into something what I believe is very important for not only at that time for the future of African Tourism Board, but the idea was always to give Africa a stand in the world to progress and become a major player in the travel and tourism industry. We had so many people that helped us, and there are so many people who donating their own time and their own dime, because no one gets actually paid for it to do all of this. And that has been always, I think, for me, the most encouraging thing to continue with this organization. Now, 2 years into this, and I think we should prepare for our last birthday, what would be the launch of a different African Tourism Board. And that is something I think we're now slowly getting ready to conform the African Tourism Board into a true NGO, where actually you, the members, people in this organization make the decisions. It, and this is really my goal from the very beginning. I've said this in London, I've said this in Cape Town. The idea is to put the African Tourism Board as a truly African organization run by Africans. And in my mind, these should be people who live in Africa, who have the citizenship of an African country, run this organization. And then us outsiders, and outsiders I name like people like Talib Rifai, Peter, myself, and the many others that helped us from all over the world. I hope we still have a role in the organization and an advisory capacity. There could even be an advisory executive board. It all needs to be discussed. And I think this is what we're selling, really 2 years of success of an organization, what was really started by accident. And I know we have growing pains, and every organization has this. But I wanted to, first of all, thank everyone who helped to shape the African Tourism Board to what it is. And I think Peter actually brought a cake so we can actually celebrate the second birthday. Now, in today's program, we're going to hear from a lot of people. We have a full list of speakers. Some and most people, unfortunately, we only others a little bit more because we simply don't have enough time. But we can always repeat these sessions. We're very good in getting the message out. And believe me, the African Tourism Board is only as good as you are. We're all a group of volunteers. No one so far gets paid. We're all hoping for the big money to come in from the European Union so we can pay our bills, but that hasn't happened. Right now, we're going through COVID, and COVID is the biggest challenge, not only for Africa, for everyone. And again, the African Tourism Board stood up. Dr. Talib Rifai and Peter came up with the idea of Project Hope. We have Project Hope, what is a discussion for Africa to deal with the COVID situation and the COVID crisis, a crisis that has been very successful. And we're going a step further out of Project Hope. Something else I initiated was rebuilding.travel to expand this conversation actually to a global platform. And so we have Africa for Project Hope, we have rebuilding on the global platform, and the third youngest kid in our group is the World Tourism Network, what is also a new organization we will officially launch on December 1 with the World Expo attached to it. And we want to invite everyone from Africa to exhibit at this World Expo we will be announcing shortly, complimentary, so we can help Africa way forward. Now, I've said enough, but this is really what I wanted to summarize because so many people have asked questions. What is the African Tourism Board, where it comes from? And that's how I see it. So I wanted, without further delay, give the microphone to Cuthbert Nkubi. He's the chairman of the African Tourism Board, has been there since April 2009, our first birthday. And I know Cuthbert has been working day and night on this organization and is a true inspiration, I think, for so many people. Welcome, Cuthbert. I don't know.
Thank you so much again. Really appreciate. It's good to meet my mentor, Alex and Ange. It's really a pleasure and honor to meet with you this afternoon. Dr. Talo, Peter Talo, Dr. Walter, and our patron, Dr. Taleb Rifai. And last but not last, Dr. Bijit Towa. We have come up with a very good concept, especially within the tourism sector, on how to motivate and enjoy ourselves. Dear friends and colleagues, at such a stormy time that requires a good sense and sobriety of judgment for all of us, as we navigate through the challenges that always retrogress the gains and the progresses achieved in our endeavors in making tourism a weapon that should and must bring us all together as a global family. As I always say, it is the only economic sector that dismantles the borders of prejudice, segregation, superiority, tendencies. Tourism is recognized as a major global economic sector, as is more evident given the impact of the COVID-19. It is a social and cultural phenomenon, as it is all about people, all about connectivity, about us coming together as goal players, whether we want it or not, dear friends. We are all part of the web of life. Therefore, it is very imperative for us to come together as we navigate through. We are all members of our multifaceted and integrated network of existence. As we pause for a minute, not that we have reached a cul-de-sac, but still on the stretch of the highway ahead of us, it is time to pause and appreciate where we're coming from as an organization, where we're coming from as colleagues. This
I think we're losing you, Cuthbert, a little bit.
Along this pause will yeah, can you hear me again?
Now you're back, but you might want to repeat what you just said, because I don't think anyone heard this.
Colleagues, this pause will then afford us to have a renewed perspective on the task ahead of us. We need to give a rebirth on the initial vision from our pioneers who gave birth to the African Tourism Board. And by the way, we need to take recognition, because it is the right, noble, and civil thing to do. It is true indeed, as the saying goes, he who doesn't know his past cannot make the best of his present and future, and the past that we learn. As we celebrate the journey of African Tourism Board, from humble beginnings, progressing from where we are today, it gives me great honor to be part of this organization and part of the supportive team that have rallied, working tirelessly in shaping the direction of African Tourism Board. From the executive team, we have dispatched and supported our collective efforts. I salute you all, the head of the departments, our ambassadors, our chairs of committees, to our pathfinders who handed the battles to the wider audience of the African continent. We will always acknowledge and adore your dreams for a better construed ideas to fulfill their narrative that nothing can come out of Africa or nothing sustainable can be achieved by Black Africans. May I, in the most strongest terms, in the weakness of in the witness of our audience fallacy, this misconception that has been perpetrated by for decades by the colonizers should and will find no room for us. African Tourism Board is not a centralized organ to benefit a few. It is your organ, and I will do whatever it takes to ensure the inclusiveness is achieved for all of us. And this organization is managed by Africans and Africa with support from our founding members. We will stand together as a team. We have run a good race, colleagues. Let us therefore stand together. The future is bright on the horizon. This is the time to put our indifferences aside and build brick by brick. Africa stand up proudly. And Africa, I plead, rise and shine. Colleagues from global community, tourism unifies all of us to be a one big family. Let us all dispatch the best we have for the benefit of tourism and in supporting of this great initiative, the African Tourism Board. In my closing remarks, Dr. Taleb, you have displayed your commitment to this organization without fail. We will always be indebted to your drive and unselfishness towards the travel sector. We are this milestone. May I take this opportunity to say thank you, and thank you all our audience and all our participants. Thank you so much here again.
Thank you very much, Cuthbert. I forgot to mention one important thing. I made the announcement earlier. eTurbo News, as a sponsor of this event, is giving away 3 prizes, and they're very important. These prizes are meant for African companies, unfortunately, and for anyone who's actually here till the end. One is an advertising budget for $10,000 to be used in 2021, when we can hopefully build tourism again. The second prize is $2,500, and then the third prize is $1,000. How you can get this prize is very simple. Everyone who signed up here has a number. Right now, there are 511 people. We have numbers from 1 to 511. And with the speakers coming up, every speaker will just give us a random number. We're gonna write it down. So the number corresponds to the time they sign up. So the number every speaker needs to give us is a number between 0000 and 2400. At the end, if we get closest to the number, I'm sorry, not every speaker, but we have our VIPs. This is Cuthbert, who is not going to win the prize. This is Peter Tarlow, Dr. Taleb Rifai, will give us a number between 000 and 2400, and those closest to the sign-up time will be announced at the end to win this prize. And I hope this is fair. Taleb and Cuthbert have no idea who it was, and I don't have any idea, because we have to look it up. So I wanted, without further ado, I wanted to welcome now Dr. Taleb Rifai. He's joining us, I believe, from Spain. Welcome, Taleb. I think we may have lost him.
Thank you so much.
Oh, there is.
Thank
Okay,
you so much.
There you are.
Thank you so much, Jürgen. It's always good initiatives come from you, really, from Hawaii to Africa. I think that's a good message to resonate here. I want to thank my very good friend Alan also. Congratulate him. Alan, we all won, regardless of the results. You made us very proud when you ran for the presidency of Seychelles. We did not speak after that, but we're really, really grateful for you. You've raised our name up high. We're very proud of you. Cuthbert also, thank you so much for the good words you said. I can go on and on. Walter, Jeffrey, Peter, everybody here. Thank you so much all for being with us today. Now, I want to talk about 2 things. One is Africa in general, and the second one is ATB. Africa. What's Africa? Africa to me is my birthplace. I may not have the right color skin, I always say this. I may not have the right color eyes, but I'm African because we all are Africans. We all came out of Africa. Believe me, I mean what I say. We all came out of Africa. It's documented. It is a fact. So let's all not forget this. Now, Africa has not got its fair share throughout history. Europeans and Western world, and even some of the Eastern world, including my own world, the Arab world, have subjected Africa and African people to so many hardships throughout history. Until today, I have not heard anybody that has apologized for the record on the behalf of these centuries of slavery that Africans went through. I think the world owes that to Africa, because Africa is on the rise now. Africa will come back. I have no doubt about it. Future is Africa. I always believe in that. I said that to Jürgen when he first offered me and Cuthbert together to become the patron of ATB. I said that, and I really mean it.
É triste, sabe?
Sorry?
No, I think it's Cuthbert, Taleb, I'm sorry, someone didn't mute themselves, so sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I thought Cuthbert was saying so. Okay. Cuthbert and Jürgen, I remember when you offered me to become the patron, I didn't hesitate for a minute because I believe in Africa. I truly believe. It's in my blood, it's in my system, my DNA. Africa is the future, without doubt. Now, as I said before, Africa has done the world a favor. The world has not paid back its debt to Africa. The world is all indebted to Africa now. And Africa is climbing up again. That's why what Jürgen said is very correct. We need to keep African destiny in the hands of Africans. People like Peter, myself, and Jürgen must step aside a bit and leave it for the Africans to run their show. Because Africa has a lesson to teach the world, the whole world. Believe me, that's true. I truly mean that. Now, when the idea of ATB came up, I jumped on it. I said I'm ready to work in any capacity. They were kind enough to offer me the position of patron. Now, Africa Tourism Board today, as you heard from Jürgen and from Cuthbert, is passing through the very natural symptoms of growing up, becoming famous. We have done a lot of good work, all of us together, because we were all together, as Cuthbert said. But these pains of growing up, we cannot deny them. We need to be together in this. I will not give up on Africa. I will not give up on ATB. I'm saying this very clear and loud. I think this is a message that must be resonating to anybody. I'm ready to help in whichever capacity. Amen. I want to thank all of you once again. Happy birthday. I still remember that day in London, Jürgen, when you came and asked me to speak at your meeting. I spoke some words from the heart, as I did now. I believe in Africa. Let's all learn around Africa. Africa is something great. I had the honor and the privilege of visiting so many African countries, meeting so many of the good African people. And I'm very, very proud of it. Walter, I owe you particularly big debt. You know that. You know what I'm talking about. Walter, I'm very happy that you're with us. Thank you all so much. Thank you very much, everybody. See you.
Thank you, Taleb. Much appreciated. Before I let you go, I didn't ask Cuthbert. We need 3 people to give me a 4-digit number. So give me a 4-digit number between 0 and 2400.
2399.
2399. Okay, 2399. Okay, now we're going from 2399 to our good friend Alain, who was also there from the very beginning, president of the African Tourism Board, joining us from beautiful Seychelles. Hi, Alain. Good morning, or good evening, I guess, where you are.
It's evening here, yes. Hi, Alain.
Yes, it is good evening. Welcome, everyone. And let me start by saying happy birthday to ATB. 2 years ago, when we met in London, a few of us together, the idea was to see what Africa can do for Africa. And that WTM event, small as it was, a few of us spearheaded this idea of coming together to say, this is Africa. I'm reminded at times like this of the song that was played when the FIFA World Cup went to South Africa. This is Africa. And we must look at the spirit of that song that brought the world of football and the world at large into Africa. We must be able to stand together and look at us as the different 54 states of Africa and look how we can really solidify this working together that we should do. Yes, the road is long. And yes, the road will have a lot of potholes. Some of us will fall on the wayside. It is normal. But we must stand firm with the one objective of working for Africa. We have everything. Everything from beach holidays to safaris, to mountains, to pyramids, you name it, to the waterway that I discovered with Minister Mzembe. We must be able to say to ourselves,
The people.
we have everything.
People.
But it is when we remain united together that we will be able to achieve for Africa what Africa needs us to achieve for itself. It won't come by itself. It is difficult. But if we remain convinced in the mission that was launched at WTM 2 years ago, and then at World Travel Market in Cape Town, where I took over the presidency of the organization, we will be able to say, yes, we were committed for Africa and we delivered for Africa. My wish is for us to continue to have in this community of nations where the world is one, to have people that are beyond our borders of Africa, to continue working with us. People like Jorgen, Jeffrey, Peter, all of us to come together. Because Taleb, I consider you from part of this great continent. So I don't mention you because you should be one of us. You to continue to work with us to grow Africa into what Africa needs to be. Together as one, we will achieve so much more for Africa. We must not be distracted as we celebrate the second anniversary. Distractions only puts us 2 steps back instead of moving 2 steps forward. Let us remain connected. Let us remain convinced that we need to work for Africa so that Africa can rewrite its own narrative and showcase to the world, especially in this very difficult time of COVID-19, that Africa is present, Africa has everything, and Africa is working to relaunch itself. Happy birthday to everyone.
Happy birthday. Thank you, Alain. And I also need a 4-digit number between 0 and 2400 from you, please.
2466. My birthday is on the 24th.
Unfortunately, that one, we have to do 0066 then.
Okay,
no, it cannot be
0066.
66. It has to be a time. Sorry, it wouldn't work like this. We need to have a also 2399. I'm going to change it, Taleb, if with your permission. I overlooked it to 2359 because it's a time. I'm going by the time people are registered. So could you give us a time, a 4-digit number, what could be converted into a time? I'm so sorry.
Well, 0024.
0024 would work. Thank you very much. And without further ado, and we're going to get to those outside Africa, like Dr. Tarlow and Jeffrey in a minute, but I wanted to give the microphone, please, to a very good friend of mine who also has been there from the very beginning. He was the former Minister of Tourism from Zimbabwe. He was also the Foreign Minister of Zimbabwe, but is now living in South Africa and has been essential for the African Tourism Board for Project Hope, and he's always there. Thank you so much, Walter Memzer.
Thank you, Jugen. Our in the beginning celebration on the consummation of the Africa Tourism Board should be a unifying force of the Africa we want to see in the tourism sector. The Bible, the Quran, and other books of faith are living legacies for human civilization only insofar as they are able to give elaborate genealogy of their main actors, especially the tracing of lineages. We too, it doesn't matter what we become or what Africa Tourism Board metamorphs into the future, its genesis, its footprints to where it is today must be a matter of factual record, and those that inspired it acknowledged and celebrated. So our story ends here, but it also marks the beginning of our recommitment to nurture, grow, and locate Africa Tourism Boards correctly and strategically in the mindset of our tourism stakeholders in the African continent, but also, even more important, globally. Our international cooperating partners, we have volunteered their precious time away from family and their own enterprises to nurture this dream of the Africa we want in the tourism and travel sector. We thank you. Don't tire. We value your support. So in this regard, thank you. I must really thank Taleb and your frontier of networks who followed you into ATB as patron. To my African brothers and sisters led by Alain as president of the organization, Cuthbert as executive chairman, all of you who have volunteered your expertise, knowledge, and zeal in the pursuit of a new dawn in African tourism in the wake of COVID-19. Thank you for your goodwill and spirit of Ubuntu and African volunteerism. I conclude by thanking colleague ministers, active and retired, like me, Allen, and others, who have lent their credibility to this great concept by associating with African Tourism Board. But of course, it will be remiss if I don't personally mention Eugen, the visionary of ATB, a great friend whom I've journeyed with in the last 5-6 years in my aspiration and journey to be the #1 civil servant at Captain High Street. And a journey I concluded honorably in September 2017 in Chengdu, China. So thank you, Eugen, for being there for me. But even more importantly, it's a great pleasure to be in the company of those that I associated with in the decade and became friends and family. And I see all of them here. Thank you so much and happy birthday to African Tourism Board.
Thank you very much. And you've been, as I said, you've been an inspiration, and you always bring wisdom into this organization. Thank you for that. We have a long list of people who wanted to address, and I wanted to just point out 3 more speakers. We want to give a little bit more than the 2 minutes we have for everyone else. And this is not a rating system here. I just was trying to get the microphone really first to those that have been with us for the last 2 years. And there are 2 more, I think, on this forum, or 3 more possibly. I cannot find the third person, but I will announce her because I think I saw her earlier before we get to Peter Tarlow. It's the Honorable Minister Pratt from Sierra Leone. She was there also from the very first moment. I think I saw her before, but I cannot find her in this forum. So Minister, if you're here, just kindly raise your hand and we will give you the microphone anytime you come in. I don't see her, but I wanted to thank the minister anyway. She was the first one who said, and don't forget this, let's rally behind the African Tourism Board. And she said this from the very first moment. And I'm glad she gave us this push, what was really necessary for the next step for the African Tourism Board at that time. Now, I wanted to, before we get to Dima Katso, the Ambassador Chair for the African Tourism Board, I wanted to hear just from 2 more people who are not Africans, but who also have been there from the very beginning. One, of course, is my partner in the Safer Tourism Environment and also co-chair for World Tourism Network. And he's always part of our organization. He's joining us from Texas. And Dr. Peter Tarlow, welcome.
Thank you, and congratulations to everyone. I know there are a lot of people who want to speak. This is supposed to be a birthday party. So one of the things I did is I went out today and I couldn't buy a birthday cake because I couldn't share it with everyone. So instead I bought 2 donuts to represent 2 years of African Tourism Board. And I thought before I say a few words that we all ought to stop for a second and just think happy birthday to the African Tourism Board. So if you like, and I'm not the greatest singer in the world, but please join me in singing happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear African Board. Happy birthday to you. I would share this with everyone, but I don't know how to do that. So I'm going to give it to the 2 colleagues who live next door because they need the calories more than I do. Say a few words just to, okay, just a few very quick words. First of all, we've all thanked everyone.
Happy birthday.
All right, we have an echo here. The I think more than everyone, I need to thank my partner Jürgen. We chatted about this as a brainstorming session about 2.5 years ago. Jürgen was truly the person who put his heart and soul into it, and I none of us would really be here today. They're all without that. Secondly, tourism is all about, well, it's a business, and I understand that. Tourism is the connecting of hearts across the world, across the oceans. And I think we all really owe each other a debt of gratitude. We've become a family. We've come to love each other. We've come to care about each other. Every one of you have become important to me. Hopefully, I've added something to all of you. And so I think today is truly a day in which we can celebrate 2 years of growth. We started off as a baby. We're now going beyond the level of infant. And hopefully in the next few years, we'll be walking in just a great level. So thank you to everyone. I'm going to keep this very short, but happy birthday. And please imaginarily, virtually have a piece of birthday cake. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Peter. And going from Texas to Brussels, I wanted to recognize Jeffrey Lipman, because after all, the African Tourism Board, before we even went to London, was a project put together by the International Coalition of Tourism Partners, where Jeffrey and I agreed to do that. And Jeffrey, of course, as you know, is still now the president of the International Coalition of Tourism Partners, among many other titles he has. And Jeffrey is all about climate and saving the world through the environment. But welcome, Jeffrey, you're a good friend. Welcome and joining us from Brussels.
Hi, Thomas. Jürgen, as you're known to everybody else in the world except me, and also to so many friends that are on this call. Somebody said that history is biography. And in this story, the central character is you, Jürgen, because in this amazingly confusing world that we now live in, made more confusing by the moron who is the leader of the free world, in this amazing world, we find that the ability to communicate and communicating through electronic means that most of us are not very good at using, you have become a master of this, Jürgen. And if anything binds us together, and there are many things which bind us together, there's friendship that binds us together. I look at the people who are on this call, Taleb, Alain, Walter, and we have been through many things together over the years, and we have, with you and like you, a great friendship and a common denominator that we are all continually interested in tourism. And you have managed to knit that together around the concept of an African, another African, and a new African entity, which somehow is absolutely right for this difficult time, because you have to be able to see each other, to talk to each other, to share ideas with each other. And you are the supreme facilitator of that. And I don't know about my other friends on this call. I'm fed up of Zoom meetings and team meetings and conferences and webinars. And I go to those where I feel some special bond, either with the people who are organizing them or with the subject. And you've managed to put two of those pieces together. And I think the message that I have on this birthday, I'm not going to sing. I'm not going to be like Peter and give everybody a cake that only he can eat. I'm going to say that this linkage that you make is vital to the future of anything like this organization surviving. The bureaucratic stuff drives me nuts, and we shouldn't do so much of it. We shouldn't worry about the titles and the organization and the structures. We've all been there, we've all done that. We should find one or two really important issues, and we should find a very simple set of messages on them that are relevant to helping Africa, helping Africans, and African tourism. And from my perspective, my message, as you said, is that climate change is existential. We have to factor it into all the things we do. And I'm involved in this activity because I want to make sure that the African Tourism Board does that. And I painfully will keep repeating that if we don't fix it, our grandkids will either freeze or fry. And we don't know which, we just know that it's going to happen. So I'm not going to take up any more time. I'm here only because you have made this a must on my agenda every time I get one of these notes. And all the best wishes to you, to the African Tourism Board, to the friends that I can see. Alain, congratulations on your terrific campaign that you did. You're the only person I know in the world who has done this kind of thing. You're outstanding in the way you do these things. And Taleb and all the others who we've worked with over the years, as long as we can keep having these mechanisms to communicate and you keep making them happen, Jürgen, we'll all be there for you and with you. So thank you for giving me the chance to speak.
Thank you very much, Jeffrey. And you're now, please give me a number also between 0 and 2,400. This is going to be the big prize. As I said, Jeffrey has been there even before our second birthday, and he cannot win the prize because only someone in Africa can win it. So, Jeffrey, give me a number between 0 and 2,400. And it has to be a time number, what could be converted into a time.
1111.
1111 is good. It's actually the beginning of Carnival in my hometowns, Düsseldorf and Cologne. It's when Carnival starts on November 11th at 11:11 in the morning. I love that time. So from Brussels, I like to go over back to Africa to give the microphone to Dimakatso Malvela. And I'm sorry if I pronounce some names here incorrectly. She's the ambassador chair for the African Tourism Board. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Jürgen. And I would like to say job well done, but to greet all the leadership in this platform and to say congratulations to ATB for the second year birthday. It is a milestone. To reach a second year or to reach any other year, there's a journey that one has worked on, and there are challenges, there are sometimes, you know, the excitements and all those kind of things. But what I like about ATB, it is that platform, it is that organization that brings Africa together. And I can say tourism at this moment, it's the most critical sector. And we all know that it is the only sector that makes us to meet each other. And what I liked about the ATB is that in our presence, everything that has been done in our introduction to one another, we never focused on each and everyone's country. Rather, we looked as Africa as a continent, and all of us as Africans, and to say each and every country in our continent. If I am sitting here, I'm a Zimbabwean, I'm a Zambian, I am a Kenyan. So we all the ambassadors, not for South Africa, if I'm from South Africa, but ATB has taught us that we are the ambassadors for the continent, not for the region, not for the country. With those few words, I would like to encourage us here and just one another. I know we've got the thunderstorms here. We are experiencing shower of rain. So anytime this can just kick me out. You can see the lightning at the back. But all I would like to encourage the leadership, the ATB, we're saying we are behind you. We are supporting this movement because through this movement, we will see Africa never being the same again. We're not only focusing on tourism alone, but we're talking about the tourism value chain as we saw how the pandemic has crippled our economy. And we know that tourism, it is the backbone, when it comes to the economies of the country or of the continent. And with those words, I would like to encourage to encourage us and for alone I can go faster, but together we can go far. And as we are standing here today, I am expecting, or hopefully we will be celebrating our third year in the year to come, and we will be stronger. We will be talking about the impact that ATB has done in Africa. We will be looking back and say it was worth it. So in this year, which is 2020, with a lot of uncertainties, I can see the lead and say we can make it regardless of the situation. So I just want to say in those few words, thank you very much for this platform. And on behalf of all the ATB ambassadors, I say let's continue to rally behind our leaders. Let's continue to work together to make Africa the most attractive tourism destination for all, not only for Africans, but even globally. I thank you.
Thank you very much. Well said. And I love the thunderstorm. That's a sign of power, and we're going to be a powerful organization. Thank you so much. I was trying to give the microphone to Mary Kaveh, who has been helping tremendously. She's the chair of domestic tourism, but I don't think she is here. If you are here and maybe you're registered under a different name, I wouldn't be able to find you, but simply raise your hand and we'll give you the microphone. Before we go to World Travel Market and Read, I'd like to acknowledge also a good friend who has been with us actually from the very beginning of the organization. And this is Dov Kalman. He's joining us from Israel. And he has been in South Africa at our first birthday. Welcome and shalom, Dov.
Shalom, Jürgen, and thank you so much for setting up this wonderful party with the fireworks all around Africa. And here I even have 2 bottles of wine, which I'm going to drink on my own in order to celebrate this wonderful event. Actually, it was you 2 years ago or 1 year ago that came up with the proposal for me to join, and I said from the very first beginning that I love the idea, and I love, I'm dealing with destination marketing in my country, in Israel, and I believe that Africa is not only the most fascinating destination, but it's also the kind of, the lost part of the travel world. 5% only of international tourism goes to Africa, and I believe, I'm convinced that Africa is the future, like also Taleb has mentioned before. And so I said immediately yes. I didn't think about the fact whether I'm African or not African. I believe in the message. I believe in the value of doubling tourism to Africa, and not just for the sake of business, but basically for the most important value of tourism, which is getting rid of xenophobic nationalism and ignorance and racism. I think there Africa has an additional message of any other destination that I know of. And it's the inspirational light that comes from that area. We are very close to Africa. We are only just a few hours away, and I find it a mission to get triple the number of Israelis to Africa. We just started, just an initiative that started just 2 days ago as a charter to Rwanda, which is just right now in these times. And I think that this is a major target of the ATB. It shouldn't be only a closed African community. It should be using people, like there are so many here this night that are marketing experts and love to be your ambassadors and try to help our common goal. It shouldn't be just a club of people, how influential and good they are, but I think you need the experts all around the world and the people all around the world who are willing to set up to reach the 20th birthday and then have 20 bottles of wine here. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Dov. And from you, I like to give the microphone. And I'm not sure. Papi Lusala sent me a message right before that he also had really bad weather and wasn't able to connect. But he said someone else might be connecting. I don't know who that someone else is. But it's the people behind World Travel Market who gave us a presence right from the very beginning. So World Travel Market, Reed, if anyone is speaking for Papi Lusala, please raise your hand. I see Amanda Webeloved. Amanda, are you with Reed?
Yes. Hi, Jürgen. Good evening,
Hi.
everybody.
Wonderful.
Sorry, trying to take myself off mute.
Very good. Welcome. And I have to say, without Reed, as I said, there wouldn't be an African Tourism Board. So you guys are a part of our family from the very, very first beginning, and I'm honored to have you a part of our birthday celebration.
Thank you very much, Jürgen. We appreciate the invite and the opportunity as well to introduce World Travel Market Africa to our friends and colleagues on this platform this evening, and also a very happy birthday to African Tourism Board. Jürgen, did Papi share with you the video?
I don't have the video, I have to admit. So maybe, but I will add it. If you send me the video, I will add it to our archive and everyone will get a copy.
Wonderful. Thanks very much. So yeah, again, thank you very much for this opportunity. World Travel Market Africa delivers the leading global events in the travel industry, and we're very pleased this evening as part of 6 shows in the WTM portfolio. The Africa event was launched in 2014 under the Africa Travel Week umbrella to support the travel and tourism industry and travel professionals across Africa. The event takes place in Cape Town in South Africa. It attracts over 6,000 industry professionals that attend. It's one of Africa's only leading business to business exhibitions for inbound and outbound African travel and tourism markets. The event itself for 2021 will be hosted 7th to 9th of April in Cape Town, and it's mirrored on the WTM flagship event that takes place in London, as well as the Arabian travel markets in Dubai. And it delivers a proven mix of hosted buyers club members, media, pre-scheduled appointments, on-site networking, and invited trade visitors. The event is positioned to drive commercial success with year-round access on the ATW Connect platform, connecting industry professionals, news, developments, trends, and technologies from around the world. In terms of the 2021 show, we are, of course, monitoring the global trends with COVID-19. But our team are preparing for the physical show to take place in Cape Town. Exhibition stands and bookings are open, and we do encourage the industry to contact my colleague Papi Lusala from Reed exhibitions if you've got any queries. And again, Jürgen, Peter, Cuthbert, thank you very much for this opportunity, and we wish you a wonderful birthday.
Thank you so much. And again, thank you for your friendship and partnership at Reed. And we're looking forward being part of the African event for the World Travel Market. And I like to now I see Mary joined us. I believe she's in Tanzania. Welcome, Mary Karakava. Can you please unmute yourself? And I'm going to try to put you on the spotlight here. Not sure. Mary? There seems to be problems with the connection. So we can get back to you as soon as you maybe fix your... Oh, there you go. Okay. Mary, welcome. I don't think we can really hear. Oh, there's...
Hello, very good evening.
Hi, Mary. How are
Can you
you?
hear me now?
Yes, we can
Yes,
hear
we can
you.
hear
Now
you
go
very
ahead.
clearly.
Great. Okay, perfect.
Hello, Mary. How are you?
Hi, I'm fine. Thank you, Talib.
Hi, good morning. I just wanted
you hear me?
to, yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
I'm fine. Thank you. Happy birthday.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, Mary. I just wanted to make sure we give you the microphone for a minute because you have been also one of our essential partners and in the African Tourism Board. You always been there with the Project Hope and all your good input and discussions. And we wanted to thank you and just give you an opportunity to say hi. Thanks for joining us. I hope everything is well on your end of the world. I think
yes, we are very fine. Thank you.
Perfect. Okay, and from Tanzania, I like to go.
So would you like me to say something?
I just like to go now to Mauritius, and we have a whole list of speakers. So if you can please try to limit your engagement maybe for about maximum 2 minutes, and so we can get everyone on board. We also have our gentleman. We're probably going to give just a few more minutes to from Zimbabwe, but let's go to Ibrahim in Mauritius. He is joining us. Let me just see how I can get him.
Hello.
Yes, hi, hi, Ibrahim. Good morning. I'm trying to put you in the spotlight, but I cannot find you. But as long as you can hear us, you can go ahead. Ibrahim is representing representing the ITIC, but the organizer of a very important upcoming event, what deals with investments and also investments to Africa. And I wanted him to just introduce himself and his event for just a couple of minutes. Welcome.
Okay, thank you so much, Jürgen. First of all, I have to say happy birthday to Africa Tourism Board. I remember very well when you started it 2 years ago. I mean, I think we started together, right? You were launching Africa Tourism Board in World Travel Market in 2018, and we were also launching our ITIC, International Tourism and Investment Conference in London. And I remember very well till now that very first call when we were talking about Africa Tourism Board, and you told me the concept of uniting Africa. I mean, all the countries of Africa. That was your concept. You were telling me, and I saw that really unique. It was a unique proposal, and I mean, we really supported that. And our chairman, Dr. Taleb Rifai, also supported it. and who has supported Africa Tourism Board to where it is today, together with all the other patrons, president like Alain, Cuthbert, Walter, and all the other friends who has supported this concept. And I think this concept has become very strong today, and it's becoming one voice, and uniting Africa is very important. And also ITIC, Africa is part of us, and we are in our forthcoming conference, we have topics like investing in Africa. Africa is very dear to us, and it's 54 countries, it's one brand, one voice, and we need to work very strongly to promote this brand, Africa. Congratulations, Jürgen, because you were really behind this idea, instrumental, and spend a lot of time, like all the others, all the other colleagues participated a lot. Thank you to Africa for the 2 years, for the second birthday.
Yes, and thank you very much. And anyone who wanted to sign up for your event, you can also go to any of our websites, click on events, it's right there. It's the next big event coming up on November 11th, or go to worldtourismevents.com. Or what is your website directly, Ibrahim?
www.itic.uk.
Okay, that's where you need to go, and then we see you all in about a week at the investment conference. And I love when you say the investment conference is in London. In reality, it's all over the place. We're all on Zoom these days.
It's virtual.
It's all virtual. What makes it easier?
All virtual. We are covering the world, actually.
We're covering the world. Thank you very much, Ibrahim. You've been a good friend, and I hope things are going a little bit better in Mauritius. I know you had, besides COVID, you had some other challenges to deal in your country, but beautiful place. And I'd like to welcome a gentleman who also has been with us from the very first moment. He's joining us from Zimbabwe, and he is originally, I believe, from India. And Ibrahim Arvind Naya, I believe, if I pronounce this correctly. Ibrahim, you had sent a video. I do have a challenge playing the video, and I will also make it available to anyone in archive. This is a new system, and I'm very worried about, if I try to fix this here, that I will break up the conference. So I wanted to apologize. I won't be able to play your video now, but we will send it to everyone. But welcome anyway, and thank you so much for your support over the last 2 years.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. There's a little bit of background noise, but we can hear you.
Okay. First of all, I welcome everybody on behalf of Zimbabwe and myself as a founder and CEO of Vintage Travel and Vintage Tours Private Limited. In Shona, we say Makorokoto, a job well done. I wish African Tourism Board on their second anniversary all the very best. And I welcome each and everybody to Zimbabwe, Africa's paradise. That's all I have to say on this podium. Once again, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. And I can assure you, I will personally work extremely hard to make African Tourism Board proud of giving me an opportunity to be a member of it. Thank you very much.
You managed to put a smile on the face of Walter.
Thank you very much. So let's go through the role. I will try to put the spotlight. So anyone who signed up and wanted to say something, please turn your camera on if you can, so we can give you the spotlight. I have Joseph Kafunda. He's the chairperson of the Emerging Tourism Enterprise Association, Namibia. Welcome, Joseph. I see your camera may not be on, so I cannot show you. Not sure. Joseph, can you hear us? Okay, so maybe that is not working right now. So later on, when you are ready, please let us know. I'd like to go then from Namibia to Nigeria, and our good friend and ambassador for the African Tourism Board, Abigail Olagbaye, and I probably pronounced this wrong, who is also the organizer of a number of upcoming events. We will also show on this platform, has been working tirelessly in Nigeria, has made a lot of headway, and has really done African Tourism Board proud in representing ATB in Nigeria. Abigail, you're an inspiration, and I hear some whisper you might actually be our next tourism hero. So we're working on this, and maybe you should stay tuned for an announcement. But welcome.
Thank you so much, Jürgen. It's an honor. It's a big honor and privilege to be part of this celebration at this moment. And I want to say a special thank you to you and also to all other leaders that started off this idea. And today we're here celebrating our second anniversary. It's a joyous occasion, and it's so nice to welcome everyone from every part of the world celebrating with us, on this day. Yes, Africa Tourism Board is making great inroads in Nigeria and in the region, the West African region. And we're proud of what we have done so far and what we're looking forward to, especially in 2021, and what we've been able to achieve despite how this year 2020 has been. Particularly, we're so happy that on this second anniversary, we're looking forward to Africa Tourism Board, conquering new territories and achieving lots more, in the global tourism map, in a global tourism space. So it's an honor. I don't want to take too much time. And thank you for the consideration of having me as a nominee for the Heroes Award. I really thank you for this. And I really think, I dedicate this to all tourism professionals out there who are working tirelessly to make the industry deserving and beautiful as it should be. Thank you so much. I want to use this opportunity to invite the entire industry to celebrate with us on Africa Tourism Day, organized by Desigo Tourism, which is my company, in partnership with Africa Tourism Board, which comes up on 26th of November, 2020. It's a virtual event, and please look out for our adverts and promotion. Thank you so much. God bless.
Actually, thank you very much. And you can actually see the event is listed. If you go to worldtourismevents.com, you find it, or you can go directly to your website. You did actually a wonderful website. I want everyone to take a look at it. It's called Africa Tourism Day, not African. I misspelled it. It's called Africa Tourism Day.
Africa.
And you can register right from there. And I'm looking forward help you co-hosting this event on this platform on November 26th. I now like to go again back to Tanzania, and hopefully Apollinari can hear us. Apollinari, I know for God knows more time than I think we all want to have it true. He's been the representative and the ambassador for eTurbo News in Tanzania, I guess for almost 20 years, for a long time. And he has also joined the African Tourism Board. He's done a lot of the articles. You've seen two of them just coming out yesterday about our birthday celebration. And Apollinari has always been here as a friend. He's not getting paid for his job, but we all feel bad, and times are terrible. But he's been such a good friend, and I really wanted to thank you also publicly, Apollinari, for all your good work. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Jugen, and thank you very much, all of ATB partners and patrons. I am very happy to join you to celebrate the second birthday of Africa Tourism Board. And being among members, I am very happy as well to share ideas with you all, and I'll contribute my time and to, 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 to write more news on Africa. And I welcome everybody to speak. And I welcome everybody to cooperate with us to make a very positive image of Africa through our media. And also, I encourage all of you, everybody among us, to come up to join together to market Africa as a single destination, as a one destination in the global, banking on African rich resources, wildlife, cultural heritage, historical and cultural heritage. So thank you very much, Thomas. But there's, I'm very happy to not comment from one colleague from Kalman from Israel. Am I right? I think Israel is I can say is among the countries where Africans go. Every year, we have a number of Africans from East Africa go Israel for religious pilgrimage. So I believe through ATB, we can market this route. It's very good and is well recognized, and we can market it through our media platforms and the like. Thank you very much again for giving me such an opportunity. Thank you very much.
No, thank you very much, Apolinari, and thanks for always for your great ideas. And this is really what African Tourism Board should be about. It should be about marketing, spotlighting Africa as a beautiful and as a very special destination. I remember from the very first moment when we talked about it in London, I said, okay, we should have two platforms. We should have a marketing platform for African Tourism Board, and we should have a playing field for all the political talk, what is equally important. And I thank you for your vision. I'd like to now go to London and introduce Julia Fall. She's with OTT Travel. Tell us a little bit more about what you're doing, how you fit into Africa, and welcome.
Yes, hello everybody from OTT. Happy birthday, and it's great to participate. Thank you very much for the opportunity, Jürgen. So OTT is a marketing and an educational platform for the travel trade, for the suppliers to be able to communicate with the remote trade that actually sells your destination or your airline or your hotel and so on. And information has been absolutely critical and key this year, especially in a pandemic, to know whether a destination is open or closed, what the COVID protocols are in hotels, which flights are flying to where and how, and what their COVID protocols are. There's so much information. And to me, it's absolutely the key to unlocking international tourism, because information creates confidence, and confidence literally delivers bookings. And so our platform can help create online training, short courses, sort of 10 to 20 minutes. And we do marketing, we can send special offers and so on. So we work with the Victoria Falls Travel Association. We've created a special sort of collection of courses, and I'd like to offer that as well to the Tourism Board. And there's no charge for that. To sort of help promote tourism to Africa is really what we're doing for a short period of time. And if that helps those destinations, attractions, hotels, airlines to get the promotion that they need in the places that they need it, then we're very happy to participate and to do that. So hopefully speak to you soon. If you need to speak to me, I'll put some details in the chat.
Perfect. And yeah, please send us the information. We'd be happy to put it on the africatourismboard.com website. Absolutely. And share it and free. That sounds really exciting. Okay, thank you.
One of those years, isn't it?
It's one of these.
We've all got to work together to get tourism going again.
We
Yeah.
will, we will. We're all in this together. That's for sure. I'd like to
Yeah.
go from London now to New York and introduce Joyce Adevoumi. She's the founder of the New York African Chorus. Tell us more about what you're doing, and welcome. You may have to.
Good afternoon,
There we
everyone.
go. Okay.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm sorry I'm not able to put this camera on, but I would like to congratulate you all for, well, I should say us, right? I'm included on the second birthday of this wonderful organization. As many people have said, Africa is the motherland. Africa is the place to be. And I congratulate all of you on the work that you're doing. We're looking forward to the African Tourism Day to celebrate with everyone. But what we do is we work with many of the traditional kings in tourism. So whenever they're having different festivals or so, we bring people down and they are hosted by the different kings and they get to, um, excuse me, participate in the festival. For instance, if you've heard about the Oshogo Festival, that plays host to about 1 million people that come from all over the world. So they participate in this festival. They meet the kings, meet the locals, get in touch with people who are participants, and they're able to ask questions and then buy souvenirs. So I thank you all for giving me this opportunity. I'm looking forward. I'm going to do everything I can to make this organization thrive just like you all because it's so much needed. It's really, really needed. I know that I faced a lot of obstacles when I was doing this, but I think with you all and with what I have too, we can help to make this organization the best one in the whole world. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I like that. And thank you. And stay safe in New York. And we're going now from New York to Zimbabwe again. And welcome Rose, I'm sorry, Mukogo from Green Tourism Zimbabwe. Welcome. I think you may have to unmute yourself, Rose. There we go.
Thank you so much, Jürgen, for this opportunity. Thank you for all those who contributed to the birth of ATB. And today we're celebrating the second birthday. I didn't realize that there would be something to be grateful for with regards to COVID-19. But yes, today I'm very grateful that we have this opportunity where we are all meeting together, although virtually. So I'd just like to say thank you to those who were involved in this ATB and to say thank you all for those who are here today as we move forward. I just want to pledge my support for any activity which will be happening under ATB and to say this is one great thing which has happened for us in Africa. Thank you so much for this opportunity to speak.
Thank you very much, Rose, and all the best. And I'd like to now welcome and give the floor to another African, but he happened to be in Nepal, and he was the former head of the Nepal Tourism Board, a very good friend who's been on our Project Hope initiative for African Tourism Board, and he's everywhere, even if it's 2 in the morning. Deepak Joshi has been there. He's been there for Africa and he's been there for the world and has been a good friend of Africa. I think I can safely say this. Welcome and namaste.
I would like to extend a very special happy birthday to African Tourism Board, all the members and supporters of African Tourism Board, Mr. Cuthbert and the team. A huge congratulations to you all for creating a model initiative and inspiring and educating the world that how tourism brings countries and communities together for the larger sustainable interests. You know, the world knows Nepal as the top of the world, as the Mount Everest is in Nepal, and the world knows Nepal as the one of the most peaceful land, as the Lord Buddha, epitome of peace, was born in Nepal. So from top of the wall and the happiest place on earth, we have two very special lights on the occasion of second birthday to African Tourism Board, to you. Very best wishes. We would like to extend our very best wishes to African Tourism Board for all your effort. And in just 2 years of time, you have really made a global visibility to his results when we come together. And we all Nepalese and we all is made by Dr. Talib Rifai, Jürgen, Peter, Alan, Geoffrey, Cuthbert, and many other personalities for creating such a wonderful platform where you are giving us a very good chance to network even in this time of pandemic and lockdown. And same appreciation, same level of kudos to you all. Thank you. And again, happy birthday to African Tourism Board. We are together.
Yeah, thank you very much. Some good news for you. You may have not even seen it, but we added you to you were added to the list of tourism heroes yesterday. So you find your picture now on
Really?
heroes.travel,
Thank you.
and you should check your email. It's brand new and you deserve it, and you can actually read why you deserve it. And welcome to this honor. And I'd like to thank you very much. And I'd like to now welcome and also apologize to Tony Smith. Tony, I was trying to find you and I couldn't find you. I was looking under the name Alain because on your WhatsApp, I see a different name and I couldn't find you. Otherwise, I would have asked you earlier. Tony, I have to say, he's joining us from Hong Kong and it's 2:38 in the morning, if I'm not mistaken, in Hong Kong. And you look tired, and I'm not surprised you're tired.
It's been a long day. It's been a long day.
Yeah.
But you look good. You look good,
yes,
Tony. You
yes,
look good.
and Tony has been a very special friend. He's also been here, and I wanted to just explain this a little bit. He's been here from the very first moment. Before we even had our event in London, I believe, was it before? Yeah, I think it was before the event. I received a phone call from your office, from iFree in Hong Kong. It said, how can we become a sponsor? And I thought to myself, I was spending money left and right to get this platform up. And it's wonderful. We need a sponsor. So I couldn't believe it. And I was telling everyone, we have a sponsor. And Tony, and at first, I didn't know if this was for real. So I Googled the company and it seemed to be a real company and they seemed to be legitimate. And they are. Tourism Board, you're an integrated part of the African Tourism Board. You've been with us actually for the longest and from the very first beginning. And not only was he a monetary sponsor, what helped us out tremendously, and thank you for this. He also actually bought us dinner, and this was the first dinner what brought us together with Cuthbert and Doris and everyone else, and that's how we formed the executive committee in Cape Town. I remember this was a wonderful dinner we went, and it kind of really brought this organization forward. So I'm really glad you're on the call at 2:37 in the morning your time. Welcome, Tony.
Thank you, Jürgen. I think all of us are a bit jaded with all these Zoom calls, and especially when we're now virtually global as people and not actually there anymore, but just kind of like it's a 24-hour. We can choose which, as many people have said this evening, we can choose which Zoom calls to go on. So this is, yes, a 2:30 call in the morning, and I would not have missed this for anything. When I talked to Jürgen just a little over 2 years ago, and we've known each other for quite a bit longer. It was something that I always thought, look, we always get a bad rap in certain situations. Now, and that's a country, that's a religion, that's a society, that's a whatever. But Africa always was painted this one color, and it was dark. And I don't say black, I say dark. And in the Western media, and I've come from a media background, it was always just like anything that happened in Africa was, in any bit was Africa. It could be in the north, south, east, to west, but it was always the country. So when Jürgen was talking about like, how can we promote a continent? I thought it would be great that we have the 54 countries representing themselves and getting out there and saying like, we are as individual as we are multicultural. We are, you know, so that's the thing. I'm not making much sense because it's been a 19-hour day for me today, but I just want to say happy birthday to us all on this occasion, and I will continue to support our efforts to promote peace, to promote tourism, and to promote everyone in this world to everywhere we can go.
Thank you so much, Tony, and thank you again for being there for us. I have to rightfully say, I don't know if the African Tourism Board, we would be where we are right now with your initial contribution, not only monetary contribution, but also your contribution altogether as a leader in the industry. And I want to thank you for this. Actually, I still have about 100 of your SIM cards here. They're on my kitchen table. And next time we go to the World Travel Market in Cape Town, I will bring them back. Hopefully they still work. And these are these are wonderful cards because I think you can go anywhere in Africa and you can use them as SIM cards and you can connect to the internet very easy. Great system. But maybe you have something new by now. So we're going to ask you before how this all comes
We'll have
together.
to look at that, yes. We'll look at that.
Thank you very much. And I'd like to thank you, Tony. I'd like to now get the spotlight to Septi Bukula. He is joining us from South Africa, and he's with Ziza Tourism. Good morning or good evening, I guess. Septi, welcome.
Yeah, good evening, Jürgen. I'm from a rainy Johannesburg, and thank you for affording me an opportunity to say a few words. And I want to start off like everyone else by saying happy birthday to ATB, 2 proud years. In my language, in the Xhosa, we say Minem Nandi. So I say Minem Nandi to ATB. Happy 2-year birthday. CZA Tourism SME Network is a network, as the name suggests, of tourism SMEs in South Africa. CZA stands for See South Africa. We exist to make SMEs front and center in the field of tourism. So everything we do is about the advancement of SMEs in the tourism sector. We were delighted at the opportunity to join ATB as a member, I think over a year or so ago, seeing it as an important platform for us as a network. We are built on the concept of collaboration and networking, so we saw it as a beautiful opportunity for us to be able to network with like-minded people across the continent. So without taking too much of your time, Jürgen, I want to say that as we look to the next 2 years, I'd like to put a challenge before ATB, and that is to work with us as an SME network and other SME networks, so associations across the country, across the continent, to figure out a way that we can get SMEs across the continent to connect and do business together and together grow tourism across the continent. So I look forward to working with ATB to realize that dream that we have and that objective. And once again, thank you so very much for the opportunity, and Minem Nandi from Johannesburg.
Thank you so much, and I couldn't agree more with you. And this is really, again, one of the pillars for this organization we wanted to put in place its business. And it's specifically the small guys and the medium companies that needs most of the help. And sometimes they're overlooked in the chain of the big companies. So thank you for what you're doing, and it's very important. I can tell you, I think the African Tourism Board would love to work with you. And also we'd like to work with you with World Tourism Network, because World Tourism Network is doing exactly what you're doing, helping the small and medium-sized businesses all over the world. And Africa, of course, is a very important part of it. From your end, I'd like to go to Livingstone in Zambia. I've been to Livingstone the first time in 1986, and there wasn't much there in Livingstone. And then I went back for the World UNWTO General Assembly, and it was just wonderful. You just opened the airport. I stayed at the what was it, Royal Livingstone Hotel, what was one of the best places I ever stayed. Just absolutely stunning part of the African continent. And I'd like to say hello to Faith Shonga joining us from there.
Hello, Jürgen, and hello, Africa, hello, world. Thank you so much for this opportunity. It is a great pleasure to have be with all of you on this platform. I would just like to say that a great initiative was birthed about 2 years ago, and it must inspire action from all of us at individual level, at organizational level, and national level. And I think we all have a role to play. I'm involved with the work of the ATB. I'm very proud to be associated with it. And I look forward to working with all of you amazing partners in Africa and across the world. That being said, I would like to wish the ATB family a very happy second anniversary, and also apologize for the rather poor screen. I had no control over this one this evening. So I wish you all a very happy second anniversary. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Faith, and I appreciate your part of the African Tourism Board. From Zambia, now we're going to Kenya, to Robin Henry, representing Secluded Africa, and welcome. I think you may have to unmute yourself first so we can hear you.
There we go. Hello. Thank you very much for allowing me to speak. I'm Robin from Secluded Africa in Kenya, and thank you for allowing us to celebrate this birthday with you. I can say this is definitely the first virtual birthday celebration I have ever attended, but it shouldn't mean that a virtual birthday is any less impactful or less memorable. Dr. Peter Talo, thank you for the birthday cake. It was delicious from afar. I think birthday cake is a key part of birthday celebrations, and another key part of birthday celebrations, at least for a 2-year-old child, might be a form of entertainment like, let's say, a clown. Now, I may not be a professional clown, but I would like to attempt to bring that level of light and humor to the stage. And so with that, you also mentioned that we are here, or at least ATB is about connecting hearts. And at Secluded Africa, we are about connecting our guests to the heart of conservation, communities, and cultures in Kenya. And so with this in mind, I'm going to try to connect each other, every single person on this platform. As we are all sitting in our homes, in our kitchens that we've now converted to offices, our bedrooms that are the only quiet place that we have, or, the car, the garage, the attic, we're going to make this moment of magic that will allow us to connect with each other and keep this moment as a gift or memorabilia to look back on. But it will only work if you participate with your video on. So if you'd like to be part of this, turn your video on at this moment. Now, I'll give you a moment to do that. And because this event is recorded, you're going to be able to you've all been waiting for. You can see yourself in the picture frame, right? Which is a good thing. So as soon as you can see yourself in the picture frame, I would like you to, with the palms of your hands facing away from you, place your palms on the left and right of your screen. And there you have it. If you look at it, we are all now connected in this moment. And in this moment, I would like to take the chance to say from secluded Africa, happy birthday to the ATB. We wish you a prosperous future. Thank you very much.
Well, that was wonderful. Thank you so much, Robin. This was wonderful. I got to remember this. We're all in this together. You really made it very clear. And I now like to go. Okay. Wonderful. Thank you. Wherever this came from, I don't know. It wasn't planned, but this was wonderful. Thank you so much. From Kenya, we're going now to Ireland, and actually we're meeting Edna Layuta. She represents, I believe, in Ireland the chamber, the Chamber of Commerce for Tanzania. Is that correct?
Yes, yes. Hi, everyone. Greetings from Dublin. Can you hear me? Yes. Thank you so much. I actually wear two hats. I'm like Ireland and Tanzania. So we are the Tanzania Chamber of Commerce. We are like the bridge that connects Africa and Europe. So I know this is about tourism. By the way, congratulations, first of all, and happy birthday to African Tourism Board. What an inspirational journey. And I'm so honored to be speaking here today. We play our part at promoting tourism in Africa. I love Africa. I'm from Tanzania originally. And every time I hear about nice stories about Africa, I always am the first one to encourage people to visit. So we do business tourism. We also promote cultural tourism, and we have animals and also volunteers. So we work with we represent many tour agencies in Africa. So if you want to be part of what we do, please do check out our website and do join. At the moment, we have amazing opportunity in Zanzibar. Every time I hear Zanzibar, I get goosebumps. It's just so beautiful. We have amazing opportunity for people to invest in tourism. And there you get so many advantages. You can get residence permit. You can get amazing apartment for as little as $22,900 US. You can own your own amazing, beautiful apartment in Zanzibar. So we have two projects there. We're working with a German company called CPS. So please check them out because it's a good place to invest as well. So if you want for us to get to tourists, to bring tourists to your agents, please get in touch. We have our offices in New York. We are in Dublin for European market, and we're opening an office in India soon for Asian market, and in Tanzania as well. So this is what we do. We play our part. At the moment, we're really trying to bring virtual working tourists. Many people in Europe, as you know, they are working remotely, so they are ready to visit. They go on holiday, and we are bringing them over to Africa. So if you want to receive this, because I know the industry is really struggling at the moment, we are already doing business tourists because it's business as usual in most African countries. And also we bring virtual workers holidays as well. So please get in touch, and then we can partner with you and together. I would love to be part of what you're doing because it's really, really amazing. And greetings from Dublin again. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. And I know you have joined the African Tourism Board also in the early stage. And thank you for that. And it's great to have you on board. I was always wondering, Tanzania Chamber of Commerce in Ireland. So do you have a big market for Tanzania and Ireland? I'm just curious.
No. It's just the name really from branding point of view, because guys, Africa is an emerging economy. So we have many investment people wanting to invest in Africa. So we have companies that are investing in different sectors, not only in Tanzania, by the way. We're also working with most of East Africa and Southern African. So we work with governments there. So we have investors who are looking for projects to invest in Africa. So they come to us because we are, in a way, we're the only one really that has actually been established here. And we have just established actually an East Africa Chamber of Commerce as well. So at the moment, we have investors who have money, so they don't know what to do with the money, so they're looking for projects. So our job is to make sure we match them with what they can invest in. So we are from mining to agriculture to IT pharmaceuticals, all these sectors. So that's why we work very closely with the governments as well in Africa, but also for the private sector. So if you have a project that you think it's worth being, investment, please get in touch. You never know, it could be your lucky day. So we would be more than happy to work with you.
Yeah, I think you're going to have a lot of takers in Africa. People who don't know what to do with their money, send them, and we'd be happy to share your information with everyone. And,
Absolutely. In terms of tourism there, please guys, we have people who are still going to Africa for tourism despite the current situation. So please get in touch. We can recommend them to you, and then we can work together.
Thank you so much.
Okay?
And we like to go actually now directly to Tanzania, not to Tanzania in Ireland. And in Tanzania, I think we have Lina Lemoma, I believe, joining us from Safari Travel. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name incorrectly. Welcome.
Good evening, everybody. In Kiswahili, we say hongera sana, means congratulations. Being a 2-year-old, I can see we are not throwing any tantrums at all. We are actually matured for 2-year-olds. So congratulations to everybody. I represent 2 companies in Safari Travels, which is a tour operator based in Dar es Salaam and doing safaris in the southern part of Tanzania. And a new initiative that actually came out of these hard times of COVID. In terms of having difficulty and a very hard time, COVID still had some positives. And I think our initiative, which we call the Intra-Africa Travelers Fairs, is one of those positives that came out of COVID. The initiative is actually quite different from most because we are promoting intra-African travel, which means that we're trying to get Africans to travel within Africa. A very interesting thing happened last week. We had about 800 Russians come into Zanzibar after a very, very long time of 8 months of not having tourists. And my question to myself was, why was it not 800 Africans landing in Zanzibar? So our initiative is actually directly, purposely targeting Africa so that we are able to move Africans around. We always hear that Africans can't travel. Africans are not traveling within Africa. But what are we doing to ensure that Africans are traveling within the continent? So these are the issues that we want to tackle, and these are the issues that we want to tackle together. And I'm sure we'll be able to move 800 Africans at any other given time to any African country if we have the right. So we're actually having a Zoom meeting tomorrow to discuss some of these constraints that African tourists and travelers face, among them rates. For those of you in the industry, you know we have East African rates, SADC rates, ECOWAS rates, but then we also have European rates and any other rates. So why can't Africa unite and have one blanket rate for all Africans? So we hope you can join us and hear what we have to say, and we can move Africans across Africa. Thank you very much, Jorgen, and hongera sana again. And you're not a 2-year-old with any tantrums. Thank you.
Asante sana, I believe in Kiswahili. I don't know. That's what I remember when I was in your part of the world several years ago. And thank you for joining us. And yes, I think we had discussed domestic tourism. I think specifically Dr. Taleb Rifai is a big supporter from the beginning to start out safe and to concentrate on your region. And thank you for what you're doing. I think this is it's a very good approach.
Jorgen, can I ask that the link to that meeting tomorrow be sent to us, please?
Yes, absolutely. If you can please send us the link, email it. I'd be happy to put it on the African Tourism website so everyone can see it, and we send it out with the archive for this event. So maybe we get some more people.
Actually,
joining.
I did send you, Jorgen. I sent you. Jorgen, can you hear me?
Yes, if you did it, I have to apologize. I don't recall. If you maybe
Okay,
if you can
I'll
send it
no
again, I'm
problem.
so sorry. I get like more than 2,000 emails a day, and sometimes I overlook. But now, since I know it's coming from Lina, I will make sure I pay good attention to it. Thank you so much. And
I'm also posting it here for everybody else. Sorry.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And we'd like to go now from Tanzania, and I'm always trying to keep the best to the last, and that doesn't mean anyone is better than anyone else, but I don't want to look like I'm waiting for the last for the worst. That's not the case. So everyone is the same here. And Levi Motebayan is the ATB brand ambassador in South Africa, and you're playing an important role in this organization. And welcome.
Thank you very much, Jürgen. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we celebrating the birth of great ideas from great leaders of the world. Today, we are witnessing that vision and plan giving light to the world of tourism. And it is therefore an honor and privilege to be part of this birthday celebration of the great continent of Africa. Tourism will reconcile nations and educate people and unite all of us. Tourism is one of the vehicles which will create job opportunities for many years to come. Therefore, it is a great honor to give special thanks to our founding fathers of this great organization. Happy birthday to all of you. I thank you.
Thank you so much. And we're now 2 hours in this event, and I wanted to thank everyone for staying with us so long. And now we're coming to the fun part, and I'm trying to now look at with my eyes here and see how we get closest to the numbers so we can announce our winners. While I do this, I was wondering maybe I would like to maybe if anyone else wanted to add something to it, maybe also Taleb or Peter, please do so. So that allows me maybe 1 or 2 minutes to look through the list and see who's going to be the winners here for today.
Yeah, I just want to say to everyone, I think we've come a long way. This was just originally just an idea that people were throwing around. And it's really very unusual for an organization to go this far and be this successful in just 2 years. And that really says a lot. I think it says, especially during such a difficult period for the world of tourism, the time that we really wondered if we were going to survive, how we were going to do it. We've been so lucky. You have made friends across the world to come to learn to work with each other, to care about each other, to connect hearts to hearts and hands to hands. And so I want to thank everyone for sticking it out, being here. It's 2 hours, it's a lot of time, but let's take 1 hour for each year. So on our 100th birthday, that means it's going to be 100 years, we'll have 100 hours, hopefully not. But let's all try to really extend our hearts, extend our hands, work together. The whole purpose of ATB is to help people make money, to come together, to learn to love each other, to learn to care about each other, and to work together. So thank you to everyone.
Thank you so much. And again, I do have a friend, Mr. Soli, the founder and president of Brand Africa. He would just want to say a word of congratulations.
Welcome.
Mr.
Yeah,
Soli.
just unmute yourself. I don't know where you are. What's your last name? Let me see if I can find you. Patrick, what's his last name?
There you are.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you very much. I appreciate this. Look, I'm the newest member. I think the latest one to be welcomed to this vast, awesome global African family, and I'm really excited to be here. Thank you to Cuthbert, and thank you to Dr. Taleb Rifai and other members of this Africa Tourism Board for having welcomed me, and especially for having accepted to come and speak at the 2020 Africa Brand Summit. For those of you who've never heard of it, please go to www.africabrandsummit.co. The summit and the Africa Tourism Board really have to work together into the future because what we're doing complements what you guys are doing. And
It's an excellent event. It's an excellent event.
Thank you for allowing me to be part of this awesome community. I like it.
Thank you so much. And I think I figured out who the winners are, and I also checked against that these people are still on board here. And so let's go through this, and they can introduce themselves because I don't know exactly who's behind it. And but I checked from what I can see, they're in Africa. They're still on board, and if they don't have a use for the price, it is transferable. Give it to someone who would have a use. So the third prize, what is $1,000 advertising campaign with Eturbo News and our network, to be used anytime in 2021, because we want to wait for COVID to hopefully disappear in a lot of ways. So actually this money could be used for a good cause. But I'd like to congratulate Ruth Ovino, and I know Ruth is on the call. Let me try to unmute Ruth. Actually, you need to unmute yourself. If you can do this, maybe you can tell us who you are. I have your email and support, but maybe you can see who you represent. Ruth Obino is the winner of our $1,000 prize. Okay, I know Ruth is on here, but
I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, there we go. Okay, tell us, Ruth, where are you? Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And where are you joining us from? From what country?
I'm from Kenya.
Oh, from Kenya. Okay, wonderful.
Yeah. I'm Kenya, Brogibro Safaris and Event Management Limited.
Okay, perfect. So hopefully looks like you can use this money for a good cause to promote your business, and we'll be in touch by email. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I really appreciate, and happy birthday to ATB.
Thank you. The second prize we have that is the $2,500 credit goes to Enrique Zayai, and I don't know exactly where you're from, but maybe if you can unmute yourself, you can let us know. Enrique Zaye. Did I pronounce this correctly? Okay, so I don't know if maybe Enrique doesn't have a microphone. Let me look up where he is. According to my records, Enrique is in. Oh, I have to apologize. Enrique, as much as we would love to have you, you're not qualified. You're not in Africa. I thought you were, and just because of my apology, we're going to send you a $500 credit anyway for joining us. And Enrique is actually joining us from Caracas in Venezuela. So the next closest to this, we make sure it's Brooklyn, New York, but it's not qualified. And then we have Christopher Phillips in Zambia. Let me just see if Christopher is still on our platform. No, Christopher left, so that is too bad. Okay. Okay, let me just see, just 1 second. We have many callers. They're not from Africa, but we have a winner for the $2,500 from Pretoria, South Africa. Cynthia Mavofermo. Cynthia, are you there? Cynthia is here.
Unmute yourself, Cynthia.
I am, yes.
Okay, there we go. Okay, congratulations. You won our second prize, what is $2,500 in advertising. Are you in the travel business? Are you selling travel? Can you use it for yourself?
Tell us what you do, Cynthia.
I'm the owner of Kesima. Kesima Ocean Economy and Enterprise Development, Pty Limited.
Kesima Ocean Economy is an ocean-based company, and we deal with the ocean businesses such as I'm so yes, various ocean businesses in the ocean sector.
Okay, perfect. So congratulations. We'll be in touch by email. And now we actually have our big prize, what is $10,000. What also goes to South Africa. We have a lot of people from South Africa, to Joshua Ngoma. Joshua, are you there? Joshua, can you, Ngoma, can you unmute yourself? Hopefully Joshua has a microphone. If okay. Well, I see Joshua is on this forum. He may not have a microphone. Not everyone has a microphone on it. So he's, and let me see if I ask him to get his video on. So let me just see what I have here. Okay, Joshua Ngoma, from what I can see, he is from Centurion in South Africa, and he runs a company, Enterprising Africa Regional Network. So congratulations. We will be in touch by email, and congratulations to all of us again for our second birthday. I think this was a very interesting event, getting to know so many of you. It's widely broadcast, so a lot of people will know about the African Tourism Board, will know about you, will know about us. And again, from Honolulu, Hawaii, thank you to everyone, and we hope we see you very soon at another event. Don't hesitate to be in touch. Just go to africantourismboard.com. You have all our contact information. Contact us anytime, and we see you next time. Have a good day and a good evening. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye, everybody.
Good morning from Hawaii. My name is Jürgen Steinmetz, and I'm going to be your host, and also I'm involved